Yeah, hello everyone. Is my voice audible, guys? So in last session, we have started our MongoDB workshop, which will go for almost 5 days. Okay, 4 to 5 days, and it's completely free. So during this workshop, whatever code I will write, whatever notes I'm going to create, all those things I'm going to provide you. So notes plus code will be available to you. Apart from that, as I have mentioned in the last class, guys, today at 9 a.m. I am starting with UI full stack batch. Today at 9 a.m. I am starting with UI full stack batch. Okay, so in this UI full stack batch, I will be covering everything from zero level. That is, we are going to start with HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React, Redux. Apart from that, we are going to understand about Node.js, Express.js, JWT, Mongoose. So all this we are going to discuss in our backend, and we are going to discuss about the MongoDB as a database. So all these things we are going to learn in our UI full stack batch. And I'm going to start completely from zero level to advanced level. So we'll start from zero and we will move towards advanced. So that is how we are going to study. So from today, I'm starting at 9 a.m. guys. If you are interested, then you guys can join that. If you are not interested, just ignore. And the people who are interested to learn only React, if they are interested to learn only JavaScript and React, then at 6 p.m. I'm starting with JavaScript and React. So JavaScript, I will start completely from zero and I will take you guys to complete advanced level. And even React, we will start from zero and I will teach you complete advanced level. Okay. So JavaScript and React, where I will take around 20 to 25 sessions on JavaScript and in between 25 to 30 sessions for React. So in complete depth, we are going to understand about JavaScript and React in this course. Okay, so this is what the information I wanted to share. Now let's get back to our workshop. So yesterday we started with our session 1, and in last class we have completed few topics, like we have understood what is database. We have understood about the purpose of database. We discussed categories of database. In that we have discussed relational database. We have discussed about NoSQL database. We have discussed like what is relational database, what is NoSQL database, what are the limitations of relational database, why NoSQL database came into picture. All those things we have discussed, and we have installed MongoDB server. Yesterday we have seen how to install MongoDB server and MongoDB shell, which we call as a Mongo client. So these are the things what we have done in the last session. So in today's session, let's start with the MongoDB. Let's start with the part called MongoDB. MongoDB. So in last class, I have defined what is MongoDB. Anybody remembered, guys, what is MongoDB? So if someone asks you what is MongoDB, what will be your answer for that? If you remember, in last class I have told MongoDB is a open source. It's a open source, no SQL, document oriented database. So what is MongoDB? MongoDB is a open source, no SQL, document oriented database. Document oriented database. This is what we have discussed in the last session. And in last class, if you remember, I have explained all these terms. What is the meaning of open source? What is the meaning of NoSQL? What is the meaning of document oriented? And what is database? What is database? All these things we have discussed. Okay. Yeah. Now in last class, if you remember, to work with this MongoDB database, I told you guys to install MongoDB server. To work with this MongoDB database, we have to install MongoDB server. Now, why we have to install MongoDB server means, now using MongoDB server, we can host MongoDB databases. It is used to host MongoDB databases. What is the meaning of this hosting MongoDB databases? For that, let's assume that this is your system. Let's assume that it is your system. Now your system contains RAM, your system contains hard disk, right? Your system contains operating system, all that. Now in this system, let's assume that I have installed MongoDB server. I have installed MongoDB server. Now this is your normal system. In that I have installed MongoDB server. This is MongoDB server. Now inside this MongoDB server, or we can say using this MongoDB server, we can create MongoDB databases. We can create any number of MongoDB databases like this. Now database is nothing but space where we are going to store our data. So this MongoDB server is going to utilize this system, this particular system space. Now this system provides some space, right? You have hard disk, you have your RAM, it provides some space, right? That space will be used by this MongoDB server to create these databases. Now, whenever you are trying to enter, suppose you are client here. For this database, you are client. Now, as a client, you are going to add some data. You are going to add some data in this database. So how you will be able to add the data inside this database? With the help of this MongoDB server only. So this MongoDB server will help us to add the data inside this database. This MongoDB server will help us to access the data from the database. So as a client, we are going to connect with this MongoDB server. Once we are connected with this MongoDB server, then we can do any kind of operation on this database. If you want, you can delete this database. If you want, you can create new databases. If you want, you can add the data inside the databases. If you want, you can access the data from the databases. Means all the operations you can do through this MongoDB server only. That is the reason we require this MongoDB server in our system. So what is the main purpose of MongoDB server? It is used to host MongoDB databases. It means we can create lot of databases through this MongoDB server and we can manage those databases. That is the meaning. Okay. That is the reason we have installed this MongoDB server. Now, to connect with this MongoDB server, we required one client. We required some user interface. to connect with this MongoDB server, we required a client application. We required a client application, or we can say we required some user interface. We required some interface, not user interface, or we required some interface. And that interface is nothing but our MongoDB shell. So MongoDB shell is a interface using which we can connect. We can connect with this MongoDB server and we can perform the required operation. So this shell will provide us user interface where we can write some commands. So using that commands, we can connect with this MongoDB server. We can perform the required operations on this MongoDB server. If you are not using MongoDB shell, then you have to use any software application. You have to use any application like Node or Spring Boot or Django, or you can use something like Laravel or ASP.NET. So this kind of applications we have to use. So most popular or more popular backend application which uses MongoDB is your Node.js. Applications. So to this MongoDB server, we can connect with Node applications, or we can connect with MongoDB shell also. So the people who are full stack developers, they are going to use applications like Node or maybe Spring Boot or maybe Django or maybe Laravel or ASP.NET or any other technology to connect with this MongoDB server and perform the required operation. The people who are explicitly working on database, like database administrator or database developers, those people will use MongoDB shell. They will use MongoDB shell. So the people who are working as a full stack engineers, who works on front end or back end, those people will use applications like Node, Spring Boot, Django to connect with this MongoDB server and perform the required operation. The people who are explicitly working only on database, like database administrator or database developers, those people will use this MongoDB shell. This is the reason right now we are working like a database developer. We are exploring this MongoDB as a database developer. That is the reason we are going to use MongoDB shell. So when I take this course, right, when I teach this UI full stack course, here we are going to learn Node.js, Express.js. And we are going to learn something called Mongoose. Now this Mongoose will help us to connect with this MongoDB database. This Mongoose will help us to connect with this MongoDB database. And this Mongoose we are going to implement in our Node and Express application. So inside our Node and Express application, we are going to implement Mongoose. And using this Mongoose only, we are going to connect with MongoDB server. And we are going to perform required operation through these applications. So that is what we are going to learn in our course, in UI full stack course, when I start backend part. So how our Node.js application connects with MongoDB database, how we can perform the required operations, all those things we learn in very depth. But right now here we are just explicitly working on MongoDB. So here we are going to use MongoDB shell. We will not use this part. So this part we are not going to use. We will use this part, MongoDB shell part we will use. Now, first let's see how to connect MongoDB server with MongoDB shell. How to connect with MongoDB server using MongoDB shell. Okay. So for this, the first step is open the terminal. Open the terminal. Which terminal we have to open? We have to open our MongoDB shell terminal. We have to open the MongoDB shell terminal. Now, how to open the MongoDB shell terminal? For that, go to your C drive. Go to your C drive. Go to the C drive. Now I am inside my C drive. Inside the C drive, open your program files. Open your program files. Under program files, you should find one folder here called Mongo shell. You should find one folder called Mongo shell. Just double click it. Open that folder. Once you open that folder, here you will get one application called Mongo SH. Here you will have that MongoDB icon also. That leaf image. So now here just double click on it. Just double click on it. When you double click on it, it will open this interface. It will open this terminal. Now what you have to do here, just press on enter button. No need to type anything. Just press enter button. The moment you press enter button, it will connect. It will connect with your MongoDB server. So your MongoDB server is running on the port number called 27017 in your system. It is running on the port number called 27017. Now, if you don't know what is port number, so port numbers will be allocated to all your applications that you download in your system. In your system, whenever you download or install any application, every application will run on some port number. It will be like 4-digit numbers. It will run on 4-5-digit numbers. It will be. So it will run on that port number. This port number are like address of your applications in your system. They act like a address of your application. So how our homes will have some address, or in your apartments, there will be lot of flats. So every flat will have some number, right? So flat 101, flat 105, like that. You can consider your system as a apartment. You can consider your system as an apartment, and all these applications are like flats. So inside one apartment, you will have lot of flats. Like that, in one system, there will be lot of applications. Now, every flat will have one number, unique number, so that we can identify that flat. In the same way, in your system, there are lot of applications. So to identify your applications, for every application, your system will allocate a port number, which acts like an address of your application. So that is what we call as a port number. In very general way, I have explained right now. So generally, this is the concept of your backend part. So when you are learning backend with Node.js or backend with any other frameworks like Spring Boot, maybe ASP.NET, maybe Django, there you will understand what is port number in very, very depth. So right now you can understand port number is like a address of your application inside your system. So right now we have installed MongoDB server. So what is the address? What is the port number of that MongoDB server? On which port number it is working? That is 27017. By default, the port number is 27017. If you want, you can change this port number also. If you want, you can change this port number. But right now we will not change any port number. We will go with this default port number. So here see, now successfully we have connected our MongoDB shell with MongoDB server. Successfully we have connected our MongoDB shell with MongoDB server. So once you open the terminal, second step is press enter button. Press on enter button. That's it. These are the two simple steps you have to follow. So what we have to do, first we have to go to the C drive. So let me close this. So first go to the C drive. Under C drive, go to the program files. Under program files, check your Mongo SH folder, open that folder and just click on this part. When you click on this part, one terminal will open. Now this terminal is MongoDB shell. This is your MongoDB shell. Now I want to connect with my MongoDB server. How to connect? Just press on enter button. That's it. So the moment you find here test, if you find here something called test, it means successfully you have connected your MongoDB shell with MongoDB server. Now, this is the interface where you can use your commands to perform some operations on your MongoDB server. Now here we have to use all the commands. So you can use CLS in Windows to clear your terminal. If you want to exit, if you want to close this, you can directly click on this close, or else you can type exit and press on enter button. It will exit. You will come out of that terminal. This is one way. Another way is you can open your command prompt. Another way to open our MongoDB shell and to connect with MongoDB server is open the command prompt or terminal of your system. Second, type Mongo sh, type Mongo sh command and press enter button. Press enter. Another way is you can directly open your command prompt. So I am opening my command prompt. Okay, here you will see it is a normal command prompt. Now here you have to type Mongo sh, nothing but Mongo shell, and press on enter button. Again, it will connect with your MongoDB server. Now see, again here you got test. I want to clear this part. So type CLS, press enter. It will be cleared. So the moment you got test here, it means you have connected with your MongoDB server. See, now we are into the MongoDB shell now. Here we don't have command prompt. Here we have Mongo shell. Now when I open new tab, here I got this PowerShell. This is Windows command prompt. So this is another way how we can connect with our MongoDB server. So right now what we have done, we have here MongoDB shell. And in our system, we have MongoDB server also. We have MongoDB server also. Right now, I have just connected my MongoDB shell with MongoDB server. I have created this connection. Now my requirement is now this is our MongoDB shell. And I have here MongoDB server. They both are connected now. They both are connected. Now my requirement is here, I want to use some JavaScript. I want to execute some JavaScript code here. Inside this, I want to write some JavaScript code so that I can perform some operation in this MongoDB server. The first operation is I want to create one database. I want to create my first database inside this MongoDB server. I want to create my first database. This is your MongoDB server. This is your MongoDB shell. So inside this MongoDB shell, I want to write one JavaScript instruction, one JavaScript code, one JavaScript statement so that I can create one database. I can create one database. Now, what is that code? What is that command? Now, if you want to create database, the command is you have to use the term use space. You have to give your database name. You have to provide your database name. So the moment you execute this command, in your MongoDB shell, internally inside your MongoDB server, one database will be created. So let's see how to create our first database practically. Right now I have connected with my MongoDB server. I will use the command use space my database name. I will say here AIT MongoDB workshop. So this is the name I am giving for my database. AIT MongoDB workshop DB. Now the moment I press on enter button, now here I got a message, switched to database called AIT MongoDB workshop DB. This is the name of our database now. So database is created. Now if you want to check whether this database is successfully created or not, for that we have one more command called show DBs. There is one command called show DBs. Now using this command, we can check how many databases are present inside our MongoDB server. So inside this MongoDB server, how many databases we have created? All those list we can check using this command, show DBs. So if I go back here, if I say show DBs and press on enter button, you will see the list of all the databases that are present in my server. Now this many databases are present in my server. Now let's search whether our database is present or not. So we have created the database with AIT MongoDB workshop DB. So here I have AIT DB aggregation, indexes, Node.js, operators, and relations. But here you are not finding the list or the name of your database. See here, there is no name for our database here. See here, the first database is products DB, then admin, then something AIT aggregation, something AIT indexes, AIT node DB, AIT operators, AIT relationals DB. But here we don't find any database name called AIT MongoDB workshop DB. Now why we are not able to find our database name here means, to list out our database, inside our database we have to create at least one collection. We have to create at least one collection. Your database should contain at least one collection. So this is called collection. Collection is like a container. Now this collection you can compare with the table in your relational database. So inside your relational databases, we create lot of tables, right? In the same way, in non-relational database like MongoDB, instead of table, we create collection. We create something called collection. Collection is like a container. It is like a container of our data. So inside that collection, we can store multiple data. So we have to create minimum one collection. Now, how to create this collection? How to create this particular collection now? Now to create this collection, we have to use one more command. What is that one more command? The command is db dot create collection. We have to call a function called create collection. See, now here you will get the feel of JavaScript. db is like an object. Create collection is like one predefined function. Here we have to pass our collection name in this string format. We have to pass our collection name. So one collection will be created. Let's create one collection. Again, let's try to list out our database and check our name. So let me clear this part now. I will use the command db dot create collection with the name users. So I'm saying that inside this database, I want one collection with this name. Now press on enter button. The moment you press on enter button, if you get this message, okay, 1, it means successfully you have created your first collection. Now again, let's try to list out all our databases, show DBs. Press on enter button. Now here, if you see, we find our database name now. So here we got, see, after products DB, we have admin, then AIT DB aggregation, AIT indexes, then our database name is present here. So when you can list out your databases, once it contains at least one collection. If it has one collection, then you can check that name. If you want to check how many collections are present, then we have one more command called show collections. When I say show collections, it will show me all the collections that are present inside this database. So right now we have only one collection. So it will show only one collection, that is users. I can create one more collection. I can say here products. So I am using my arrow buttons to execute and like to find out my previous commands. I got OK 1. Now again, if I say show collections, now it should print 2. So here we have products, here we have users. So what we have done now in our database, we have created two collections now. We have created two collections now. One is user collection, one is products collection. Collection is very similar to your table concept. So if you have MySQL database, let's assume that this is your MySQL database. Inside your MySQL database, you can create lot of tables, right? You can create any number of tables. Like that, inside our MongoDB database, we can create any number of collections. We can create any number of collection. Now here, in every table, we can create any number of rows. We can create any number of rows. Like that, inside every collection, we can add any number of documents. We can add any number of documents. Documents are nothing but objects. We can add any number of documents. Like this, we can add any number of documents. Each document is called one object. Here, all these are called documents. All these are called documents now. Okay, guys. Understood up to here, everyone? So I will give you proper notes, guys. Okay, right now I am writing all these commands in very shorter way, but in a proper PDF format, I will provide all these commands to you. I will provide one title, how to create database, then this command, how to list out all the databases, then this command, how to create collection, then this command. A proper notes will be given to you. In today's class only, I will tell you how to get the notes. Document is your rows. Each row is your document. Okay. So here you can compare like this. In your relational database, we have table concept. In non-relational database, we have collection concept. So you can compare table with collection. In every table, you can create any number of rows. You can create any number of rows. So that rows concept you can compare with documents. Technically, documents are nothing but JavaScript objects. They are JavaScript object. Now in every row, you can create columns. In every row, you can create columns here. In the relational database, we can create columns. Now in the same way, so here you can create columns. And here inside every documents, we can add our data in a key value pair. And that key value pair is called fields. That key value pair is called fields. Like this, you can compare. So this is the concept we use in the relational database. These are the terms which we are going to use in the non-relational databases, especially in our MongoDB. Now, inside my collection, I want to add some documents like this. I want to add one document. How to add one document? For that, we have a command here, that is db dot your collection name dot, we have to call a function called insert1. We have to call a function called insert1. Now inside this insert1 function, we have to pass our document as a first argument. Like this one object you have to pass. In that, you have to pass your fields. For example, name, I am saying here Kabir. City, I am adding here Pune. Gender, adding here male. So now here, this name, city and gender, all these are called fields. We call them as a fields. We call them as a fields. So here, this is one field. This key value pair is one field. This is another field. This is another field. So this curly braces is called document. Inside the document, we call this as a fields. So we call them as a fields. So in normal JavaScript, we call them as a property. Property 1, property 2, property 3. We call this as an object. But in MongoDB world, we call it as a document instead of object. And we call it as a field instead of property. So this is the field 1, this is the field 2, this is the field 3. So let's add our first document inside our collection. So here I am using db dot our collection name users dot insert one. Okay, you have to use exactly in this way only. So insert, all letters will be in the lowercase, one first letter will be in the uppercase. And then here you have to pass your document. I am adding my document here, name like Kabir, comma, city like Pune, comma, gender is like male. Now press on enter button. The moment you get this message acknowledged as a true and inserted ID, some ID if you get like this, it means successfully you have inserted your first document inside your collection. Successfully you have inserted your first document inside collection. Like this, I want to insert one more document. So I will just use same command and I will just change the name. So here I will say Rohan. City I will keep Pune only. Gender also male. I will add one more here. Something like Sneha. City, let me change to Hyderabad. Gender will be female. One more. City, let me add Mumbai. And name maybe something like Vaishnavi. Now see how many documents I have added now. Document 1, document 2, document 3, document 4. 4 documents are added inside my database collection. So I will take this screenshot and I will add that screenshot here. So that whenever you revise, you will have all these commands now. You will have all these commands. Okay, so I got one question in the chat. Can we create collection through programmatically through Java code? Yes, you can create collection through Java code, through JavaScript code, through Python code, through your PHP code. You can use any language, you can use any framework. That is what this second part will come into picture. I told right to with your MongoDB server. So if I just scroll down here to this MongoDB server, either you can connect with MongoDB shell. Right now we are using this part, MongoDB shell, or you can use any framework or technology. Okay, so this part will be used by your backend developers. The people who are working in backend, they are going to use. So you have for Java people, you have Hibernate, you have Spring JPA. So those modules will help you to connect with any database. You can connect with Oracle or you can connect with MongoDB also. The people who are working in Node.js, they will be using the Mongoose package or they will be using MongoDB package to connect with our MongoDB server. Okay, so till now, what we have seen how to connect MongoDB shell and MongoDB server. This is what we have seen. Then we have seen how to create database, how to list database, how to create collection, how to create collection. Then we have seen how to list collection, list databases, list collections. Then we have seen how to insert document inside the collection. Insert is nothing, insert or you can say add. How to insert or add document inside the collection. Now let's see how to access documents from the collection. I want to access all the documents from my collection, or I want to check how many documents are present in my collection. How to do that? So for that, we have one simple command, that is db dot your collection name dot find function. You have to use a function called find. So what this function will do, it will list out all the documents present in your collection. The moment I press on enter button, see all the documents are listed out here. All the documents are listed out here. So if you see, we have added only 3 fields, name, city, gender. But you are seeing here one additional field called underscore ID. So this field will be created by your MongoDB server. This field will be created by your MongoDB server. So this field is like a unique field in each and every document. This is like a unique field in each and every document. Unique field. It's like a primary key, primary field. So in your relational database, there is a concept of primary field, right? So this field acts like a primary field. Primary field means a field which is unique in that column, entire column. The fields which are unique, those are called primary fields. So inside your table, there will be one column in which all the fields are unique. All the data is unique. So that is primary field. Here also we have so many document 1, document 2, document 3, document 4. In that, underscore ID field will be unique. The value of underscore ID will be unique. See, here we have something called 1D. Here we have 1E. Here we have 1F. Here we have 20. So the values will be unique. This is called ID of our document. This is the ID of our document. This is the ID of our document. So you entered only 3 fields, but internally MongoDB added one extra field. That is underscore ID, underscore ID. So this is how we are going to list out. We are going to list out all our documents inside our collections. We are going to list out all our document inside our collections. Clear, guys, up to here? Let me know whether you have understood all these commands or not. Okay. So right now we are understanding how to add single document. Then I will explain you how to add multiple documents also. Okay. So right now I have taught you how to add a single document. So in tomorrow's session, we are going to learn how to add multiple documents, how to update our document value, how to remove the document from our collection, how to remove the database, how to delete the database, how to remove the collection from our database. All those things we will explore in tomorrow's session. Okay, so tomorrow also we have the session, guys. So again, tomorrow the session timing is same, that is from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. Try to join early, guys. Try to join by 6:55 only. So if you join at 6:55 a.m., then at least I can start my session by 7:03. I can start my session by 7:03 or 7:02, like that. So we will not waste our time. So we can start our session early. So if you join little bit early, like if you join after 5 minutes or 10 minutes, then you will lose for the context of the session. Then you will be in the confused mode. What is going on? You will start losing the interest. So try to join 5 minutes before our timing. Okay, so that you will not miss, and I can also start the session on the time. Yeah, so let me provide you the platform from where you can download all your notes. So let me create one GitHub. So here I am adding the name as a AIT MongoDB workshop. And let me create this repository. Okay, now this is the link, guys, where you can download your notes. So after some time, I will update my notes here. So from here, you can download the notes. So just save this link with you, guys. I'm adding this link on the chat. Before that, let me restrict you guys from comment doing the message so that everybody can copy this link. Yes. So save this link, guys. So I have session at 8 a.m. Then again, I have session at 9 a.m. So after 10 a.m., I will upload my notes here. I will upload my notes here. From this link, you can download the notes. So when you click on this link, you will directly land on this page. Directly you will land on this page. Here you will find all your notes and you will find one download button. If you click on that, everything will be downloaded. So if you don't know how to download, in tomorrow's session, I will show you how to download. For example, let me open some other repository. For example, I am opening this repository, guys. So whenever you click on the link which I have given, you will find like this interface. Here you will find your notes. Now here you will find one code button in the green color. You will find one code drop down button in the green color. If you click this code button, you will get here download option. Click on download. Whatever I have uploaded here, everything will be downloaded in your system. Everything will be downloaded in your system. So whatever link I have provided, if you click on that link, you will land on this user interface. Here you will find all your notes. If you want to download that notes, just click on code option and click on download option. Everything will be downloaded in your system. So in tomorrow's class also, I will show you in the live how to download it. Okay, save this link guys. Every day I will add my notes inside this GitHub repository only. Every day I will update my notes in this GitHub repository only. So save these notes with you guys. Yeah, so that's all guys. Remaining things we will discuss in tomorrow's session.